Khamzat Chimaev and Ian Garry got into a backstage altercation at UFC Qatar, and at first it seemed like they were friendly, then all of a sudden there's shoves and things like that. And now Khamzat's being blamed, which I think is ridiculous. I think Ian Garry 1000%, kind of caused this whole thing. And, look, I've been someone that has criticized both fighters. I'm going to show you guys why Ian Garry 1000% was asking for it. So this is UFC Qatar. Ian Garry's right here. Khamzat Chimaev's behind him. You can't really see him, but also Armin's here. He's just walking with Armin. Let's take a watch. I'm just gonna let it play first. You see Ian Garry, I'm gonna break it down in a second, but a little kind of patting on the back. It seems like security is kind of concerned. Ian Garry's like, oh, he's not gonna fight me. Still face off. And look, a shove. That's a pretty big shove. I don't know. I didn't see where Ian Garry went, but it did look like he went kind of flying after that push. I'm not going to lie.
That's just childish. You're meant to be a champion in this sport. Look at me. You're meant to be a champion in this sport. Your friend just won. Don't ruin his victory.
Yeah, Khamzat looks actually really pissed here. Ian Garry's saying, oh, you're childish and you're supposed to be a champion of the sport, and he walks away, acting all chill like nothing is happening. So I think this was very weird. I think that Ian Garry was playing a victim here. In his post-fight press conference, the excuses he makes, trying to make it act like, oh, he was just there, trying to congratulate Khamzat, all friendly. Guys, first of all, there's this clip surfacing around of Ian Garry talking about Khamzat Chimaev wanting to fight him in an elevator. Super weird clip.
I'll tell you a funny story about Khamzat. We got in the elevator, and me and my wife were standing there, pressed the button, doors open, Khamzat and his missus. I'd love to have a fight here. I'd love to just swing hands with Khamzat in the middle of an elevator. I'd love stories that would fucking cool. And my missus like that, looking at me like her eyes popped out of her fucking skull. And she's like, do it, like have a fight with him. And I'm like, my fucking team, like in my head, I'm like, my teammate's about to fucking fight him tomorrow. I'm not fucking ruining that. Also, there's two fucking women in here. Me and him are gonna go to the death if we fight in an elevator. We step out with the lift, and my wife just looks at me and goes, you're a pussy.
Not surprising to see another weird Ian Garry clip, I gotta say. But I most importantly want to show you guys the interaction because, look, it might seem like, oh, maybe he was being all friendly. Look, we see this. Ian Garry first, it's kind of hard to tell, slaps the back of Khamzat first. I mean, that is just a weird thing to do, guys. Like, I don't slap anybody's back, you know what I'm saying? That's just weird. And especially, you could hear, if you actually are listening, you could hear the slap. So they're pretty decently loud slaps. 1, 2, 3, you hear that? And then he grabs his shoulder like this. And you see, look, he hasn't really done anything. He's been normal up until this point. Of course, I mean, we haven't seen before the video, but up until this point in the video, all normal. He grabs his shoulder. Now we can see that Khamzat, I think he reaches for his. Oh, no, he reaches, and then he gives him a pat on the back. And that is when, look, he just walks away like nothing. You can see security is, security's not here yet, but security's right here. Security, bro. He smelled the trouble coming a mile away, bro. So he gets in between them. And like I said, guys, I mean, I think to say that this was just some sort of innocent little slap. Guys, he slapped his back and did this. Khamzat was here defending himself. And guys, it gets worse in a second. Like here, and I'm not saying defending himself in terms of, getting hurt, but like defending his honor. Like, bro, look, you don't want Ian Garry a little broing you like this. Like, look at this image. This is a little broing that we're seeing Ian Garry trying to do. Looking him at the eye. Look, Khamzat is, hands down, getting fucking sunned. And I talked about this in the past with Tom Aspinall and John Jones, that a lot of people act like the Tom Aspinall putting the hand on the shoulder is just some sort of friendly, warm, brotherly thing. And look, I'm a fan of Tom Aspinall, but I'll be the first to say I do not buy that. This is definitely, just some fight psychology, as well as, some people have said sizing up, reaching. The only thing here is that these two are not in the same weight class, but like I said, I showed you guys the video clip. There clearly was some sort of tension. Khamzat could have seen this. Maybe Ian Garry and Khamzat have had some friction in the past. At one point, they were in the same weight class. So there's history there, So, like I said, it doesn't get worse. Let me show you. So he slaps Ian Garry's back. I think that's fair. I think that's self-defense, or just to defend your honor. And like I said, security gets in the way, and we're about to see the push. And I want you guys to hear what Ian Garry says, and this is going to be important to when I talk about Ian Garry's excuses and his victim, his victim mindset here.
He's not going to fight me. He's good.
You hear that, guys? Come on. Oh, he's not going to fight me. He's good. That's not very respectful. He's like, just keep in mind the tone, and we're going to break it down because I'll pull this back up in a second to compare with Ian Garry's story of events. But look, we see, look, he's trying to touch, he almost kind of tries to touch Khamzat again, but then he kind of hugs the security guard in a weird way, in a failed way. But even look, Khamzat's just like, bro, I can't really understand what he's saying here, but look, then whatever he said, he pushes Ian Garry, and like I said, Ian Garry does look like he goes flying. Armin's trying to break it up here. And Ian, like I said, we already saw this, he, you know, kind of does the whole, oh, what do you mean? Come on, you act like a champion. Don't act like a childish fool. Ian Garry, as I just showed you guys, I think caused this whole thing. And for Ian Garry to try to say afterwards, like, oh, come on, be a champion, you know, grow up, be mature. Like, you started this, dude. And look, let's see what Ian Garry had to say. I keep teasing this. So this is Ian Garry at the UFC Qatar post-fight press conference recalling, guys. And I love that. Okay, this is a great video because it has this side by side, so we can kind of compare it here. But here is his version of events, guys. We just watched it. I just broke it down to you step by step. And I know maybe it sounded tedious, but this is why I did, because this is ridiculous, guys.
I went up to Khamzat. I said, hey, champ, what's up? When are we going to see you back? He goes, I don't know, brother. Whenever. Smash. All right, cool. Sweet.
So normal interaction, even according to him so far. And that's not disrespectful from Khamzat.
Slaps me on the back. I'm like, all right, cool. Security guy gets in front.
And he says he slaps me on the back. He's missing the part where he did it first because he's in the wrong. You know what I'm saying? He did it first 1,000%. We just saw he did it twice or 3 times in the back, kind of rubbed his shoulder in a weird way. Guys, like, come on. Have you guys ever had that? Oh, like someone touch your shoulder like this? That's mad uncomfortable, bro. Like, that is weird to do. So that is just right off the bat. He's leaving out info.
I'm like, we literally were just cool with each other. He's not going to fight me. And then that childish energy comes out. Yeah, fuck you, brother. Fuck you.
Childish, bro.
Boom. Tries to push me. I just turned around and went, you're meant to be a champion of this sport. You're a child. You're taking away from your friend's win over here.
You're the one that started this.
How about you calm down, slow down, and have a bit of respect for your friend over here rather than trying to steal the headlines.
Dude.
Do you want the honest truth? It's little dick energy. I need to show the world I'm tough. I need to show you're the champion of the world. No one needs to see you be tough. You don't need to have these anger management issues. Just be a man.
Bro, let the words of Ian Garry ring strong in your ears, guys. You don't need to be tough to prove you're the man. You don't need to prove, you don't need to be tough to prove you're the man. That's why he aggressively slapped his back and touched him. That's why, look, let's get the frame again. Let's get the frame ready. That's why he little broed him. That's why, yeah, apparently so. I'm glad Ian Garry really does feel, that you could be the man without acting tough. That is why he seeked out to do this, guys. Come on. He knows he wanted to get revenge, after his wife literally talked shit about him for not confronting Khamzat. Honestly, I'm really thinking that must be the reason. Like, this is all so weird. And I would have respect for Ian Garry if he didn't play victim, if he honestly embraced it and was like, yeah, look, we got into an altercation, bro. I don't fuck with him. Like, okay, I actually respect that then. But to come out and try to, pretend when we all see what's happening, Khamzat 1,000%. I see people saying Khamzat is a loser for this. That is not true. Khamzat was defending himself. Even listen to what Ian Garry says he told the security guard, which we went over.
Security guy gets in front of us.
Look,
I'm like, we literally were just cool with each other. He's not going to fight me.
That's what he's claiming. He says, oh, we were just talking to each other. You're not going to fight me. That's what he said, right?
He's not going to fight me. I'm like, we literally were just cool with each other. He's not going to fight me.
Yeah, guys, keep that in mind. Look, the security is here, guys. This is what Ian Garry said.
He's not going to fight me. He's good. He's a champion. Don't worry.
He's not going to fight me. He's good. He's a champion. Like, do you hear? Like, that is sarcasm. Like, that is pretty loud sarcasm there. Oh, he's not going to fight me. He's not going to fight me. We're good. We're good. Like, it's like almost like, hey, yeah, he doesn't want to fight me. That's at least how I interpreted it. And I'm sure that's how Khamzat interpreted it. And like I said, this is when Khamzat said something back. We don't really know what he said, but he said something to him and he kind of shakes his head, laughs. And yeah, he pushed him real back. And I think that Ian Garry is kind of, I don't know. I kind of think he's saving face a little bit.
Come on, relax.
Maybe he is saving face. I don't know. I really don't know. This is all just a weird interaction from Ian Garry. I don't know why he wouldn't just own up to it. It's obvious that he was trying to do more. Tom, like I said, this is something Tom Aspinall does too. When he met up with John Jones, with Sergey Pavlovich, with whoever he does, that's his thing. You know what I'm saying? It's kind of just, I think, a little fight psychology and trying to make a moment of things. And honestly, he was invading his space. I 1,000% agree with Khamzat Chimaev. And we're going to see Khamzat kind of confirm everything I said. And I want you guys to know, this wasn't me seeing Khamzat's response. 1,000. I swear to God, guys, I did not see Khamzat's response and say this. I said this the first time I saw this video. I watched it, I rewatched it, and I was like, nah, Ian Garry started this. I'm going to talk about this right now, and I'm going to show you guys right now Khamzat's response, but he kind of confirms everything I said. And like I said, I was not influenced by him, so I think it's really something that we both said the same thing. And just remember, guys, that Khamzat Chimaev's English isn't the best, so he's gonna say, I think, punch instead of, like, just slap in the back. So let's hear it.
Touch somebody, that's respectful. Don't punch somebody in the behind.
So he says, like I say, he said punch. I think he means slap.
Like,
don't slap someone behind.
Yeah, like they punching, like slapping my back. That has to respect. If you want to show respect, respectful touch somebody. That's why I said
exactly.
Touch somebody, respectful. That's it. He came like there to make some hacks for him, like, that guy. Trying to be corner, but never gonna be corner. He's a shit fighter. He won't cheat. I don't know what.
Yeah, and honestly, I agree with him 1000%. I think Khamzat Chimaev is right. Like, if you're going to be respectful, there's a million other ways you could have done it. Like literally a simple dap up. Oh, hey, respect. I fucked with your last fight. Call it a day. Then that's really all you got to do. It is that simple. I don't know if, like I said, I've never done that to somebody. Oh, I'm going to show respect, so I'm going to grab their shoulder and squeeze their shoulder, by the way, and slap them in the back so hard. Like literally you must be slapping pretty decently hard, bro. Like, to make the noise too, the fact that the video's picking up on the noise in a whole crowd of people, that's insane. So I think for, Ian Garry now to come out in a post-fight press conference, act like he's a victim, and not only that, kind of act like, oh, Khamzat is like an animal that can't be taken out. It's ridiculous from Ian Garry. Like, have some responsibility. Even Khamzat said, he's trying to be like Conor McGregor. It reminds me of Conor McGregor sizing up Tyron Woodley back in the day. You know what I mean? Like, just, even though there were different weight classes, it was just about the challenge, literally the champion of the upper weight class. You know what I mean? Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. Who started it? Ian Garry or Khamzat Chimaev? Check out my last video, guys, where I talked about the DJ versus MMA guru situation. You guys are the best fan base in MMA. Hit the subscribe button, like, comment, and share, and I'll see you guys in the next one.